Hey, welcome to Eva Trades. It is still Thursday, and I wanted to come back to make a video about how I botched my day trading. If you just watched the live stream, it was a disaster. And or if you're gonna watch, if this is the future and you're watching this, I just had a live stream where I was trading this morning, and I kind of, nothing was working. It's an example of a day when I should have taken my foot off of the gas and just slowed down, but I kept trying. I was aggressive. I kept trying to get into trades that normally would work for me, but today they just weren't working, and I kept digging myself a deeper and deeper hole. It started out with my first trade putting me in the red, and usually I can come back from that. I'll find good opportunities. But today, every time I would see a setup I would jump in it. And there were a few winners, but it was never enough to get me back to where I needed to be. Everything that was gapping up this morning was dropping. The market overall was dropping. And I did look over at one point. I have a max loss set on my account for $400. And I looked over at one point, and my loss was down below that. I was down at about 500, but I kept on trading. Like why is that? Why? How come sometimes when this has always been a struggle, when I'm doing this, I forget that I'm supposed to stop when I hit my max loss. I was feeling emotional this morning. Like, I'm really tired because I have a job and I work 12-hour shifts. So obviously that factors into it. I was having a hard time from the get-go of gathering my thoughts and concentrating. So that was part of it. And I should have recognized that right away, and maybe not even trade today. But I wanted to be here at least, to try. And then as the account was going lower and lower and lower, I should have stopped at 400. I didn't, because I kept thinking, oh, I know I'm going to find an opportunity, because a lot of times I do. I got down to negative $854, and I was just like, man, this is 2 times my max loss. I have to stop. I cannot keep doing this. And so I ended the live stream. I was feeling pretty bad about how I ended it. I was feeling emotional, and it's like, man, it's been a while since I've kind of let myself go like that and really allowed myself to go that deep into the red. And sometimes I just don't, it's like, how do you stop that? And I know there are ways of dealing with it to learn, when there are certain triggers in your emotions that you can recognize and know when to step back. And for the most part, I'm pretty good about that. But today, for some reason, I just didn't catch myself. So I shut down the live stream, and then I was going to do my trade review, sadly. And then I saw something popping up on the scanner that I don't normally do this, but there have been a couple of occasions where I finished my day not so well, but then after I closed the live stream, I saw something, and I ended up today having my biggest winner I've ever had in my career. And I was watching, this is one that I was taking losses on as I kept trying to get in on these bounces off the volume weighted average price. It wasn't working for me. I was holding too long. And this is a pretty typical trade. Now, this is not the best looking setup, but when you see something come down below the volume weighted average price like this, and what I look for is this move down and this move up, a little lower high and a little higher low. The bulls are holding this support, and then we start to see the break here. And I didn't buy here yet. I had my stop loss set up. I was watching this. We're below the volume weighted average price. We're below these resistances, and what I'm looking for is a move above those. And there was an example of one of these the other day I was going to show, and I didn't have time, and it was a much better setup, much cleaner. This one is okay. But what I was looking for was the break over that. So we had this level here, right? and I want to get rid of these lines. So I want to show you this setup because you see this a lot. If I stretch this out, now you can really see that. And we started to break here, but I wasn't interested enough in it here to want to take a trade. I waited a little bit because I wanted to at least see us get over $1.60. And as we started to break over, this candle started to surge up. The volume was looking pretty good. So I jumped in it twice with my stop loss down here. I was risking very little at that point. I thought I would give it one more shot. And then this thing started to go. As we came up to the volume weighted average price, we pulled back. This was a red candle. I added in more. And on the way up, I kept adding to this thing as my profit was growing. And I was impressed with how much profit I was seeing. And I held it. I kept holding it. I had this level way up here in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay. And I knew we had a resistance here, and I knew we had one here and here. So I was watching those, but I'm like, I don't want to sell yet. I kind of want to see if this thing's going to go higher because if I was looking at the, well, if I can zoom, let me see here. I was looking at this 5 minute. We had a pretty nice pullback on this 5 minute. So this is where we were starting to break out. This $1.64 level, that's that last 5 minute candle. And that's when we broke over that. That's when I started buying it. And so, and then on the 15 minute time frame, what I was looking at was this, we were looking for a higher low. Basically we had a 2-bar pullback, so that looks good to me. So that's why I held this for the break over 199. Even though the morning had been kind of lackluster, I thought it was worth a shot. And as it started to pull back here to the volume weighted average price, I added more. So I was in this thing about 6-7 times. I wasn't risking $600 or $700. I mean, if it had dropped too much further down, I probably would have bailed on the trade break even. And then it starts to move up here. I add in as this is breaking out. So now I'm in it really thick, and then it's moving up and it's moving up. And look at this big move. It just surged really fast right through here. So quick. And just like that, I was up $1,274, my biggest win I've ever had as a day trader. Really incredible. And that put me up to $58 in profit. So I went from being down $874 to being up $54. I don't know that I'm happy about breaking my rules because I'm supposed to stop when I hit my max loss. But like I said, I wasn't risking a whole lot on this. I mean, if it had failed, I would have gotten out and added a little bit more to my loss. It wouldn't have been a huge deal. But I thought it was worth the risk, especially looking at that 15-minute time frame. So $1,254. And then I traded it one more time. I mean, I actually took a loss on it afterwards, right in here. It came back to this level and I added back in looking for the next move up, but it failed and I lost like a couple $100. So I was still red on my day at that time. And then it was just doing this here, and then I saw this little setup over here. Let's see, where was that at? I'll clear out some lines here so we can see this. And I saw it set up again, kind of a similar setup once more. If I zoom in here, only this time we're above the volume weighted average price, but we're below these EMAs. So we have the resistance overhead again, and we have our move down. We have this move up, a higher low, and we had a bear break, bull break. And when that happens and we broke the last candle and this high, I jumped in that a couple of times. Because I could not jump in there. That was too good of a setup. It was just like this one. Only we'd already seen some strength out of this, and I thought, okay, well, we know what it can do. Let's see if it can do it again. And then I saw this candle, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to do it. And I got back out when I saw this candle, but then this one started to show strength, and just before we broke through here, I punched the buy button twice. It shoots up, I sell it, and that got me back to green on the day. And of course it made a move up towards the this high up here, but didn't quite get there. And now we're just choppy sideways here. So that's my day. I'm going to end up finishing my day up $58 after being down $854. So I dodged a bullet today, but I really need to work on that emotional side of things. I know we all deal with it as day traders. I know I'm not alone. I'm pretty sure you've probably dealt with that too if you've traded real money. It's a human emotion, you know, and it's something that we as day traders struggle with, to try to not necessarily control the emotions, but to recognize them and then take action, you know, figure out what that emotion is, and maybe it correlates to something in the past. Maybe you've recognized it before and you say, okay, I know this emotion and I know what's about to happen. I know I'm about to lose control. So it's time to take a step back. And that's the biggest part of day trading, is learning to recognize your emotions. And I've been doing this for 6 years, and I want to tell you, it just doesn't get any easier. It's a constant battle. You constantly got to work at it. And maybe that's just me, but I don't know. And I think it's maybe a forever struggle, but I've gotten better at it over the years, and I've developed software to help me manage these kind of things. But I don't know that I'll ever truly get over, you know, because I'm human, you know, we all have emotions. And especially in day-to-day life, if you have things going on, sometimes you're not feeling the best when you come to the trade station. Like today, I was really tired. So that really contributes to me not thinking clearly and recognizing things. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here, finishing my day up $58.74. I hope this has been helpful to you too. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you back here tomorrow. We have one more trading day left in the week before the weekend. So take care of yourselves, friends, and happy trading. Bye-bye.